What is up, everybody? It's been a minute. It's been like a week and some change. The Masters have wrapped up. The war in Ukraine and Israel and Iran is still happening. Um, yeah, that's basically all I got.
We're I sadly I don't like, but I'm intrigued by your story about your McDonald's encounter this morning. You want to start there? We don't have to, but
I guess
it
it's
it
LA. It's
it clicks in
commentary
my
on
mind.
LA. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I say it's got value is because, I'm reminded I wanted to talk about the Olympics today, LA Olympics coming up.
Yeah, let's get into
And
that.
I was reminded earlier this week. There was you may not know this guy. It's Michael Schumacher. He goes by the name of Mick Schumacher, but he's a Swiss-born German driver, and he's at the Long Beach Grand Prix. And I just happened to hear him on a sports talk channel. Somebody was interviewing him, and they were talking, like, what have you done since you got to LA? Is this your first time? All that blah blah blah. He'd never been here before. So
Oh,
the German guy comes in a day earlier than his advanced team, and first thing he wants to do is go to the Hollywood sign. He wants to walk down Hollywood Boulevard, look at the stars, go by some celebrity homes, do all that tourist shit that people do.
oh yeah.
And so I'm thinking that, your lady that got punched, and I'll let the floor go to you, but because she's so disoriented and it's a Sunday morning and she's at McDonald's, it occurs to me she may be a traveler.
I don't know, man, but I apologize again for getting breakfast right at the start of the at the slated time of the podcast, but I was I was hungry and I just had to get some. And so I'm waiting there at the Mickey D's and some lady comes in sobbing and I'm just thinking it's like an argument, but she's with another person, like a guy. They go in together and then he walks behind the counter. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Like, do you work here? He didn't have a uniform on, so I don't. And everybody behind the counter is sort of just like, I don't know, they didn't think anything of it that he walked behind there. So to me, it's like, oh, you must work there then.
How old is the lady? How old is the
The
man?
lady could be like 30s, 20s. The kid looked 20-ish. Um, and yeah, so she's just bawling, and he goes in, and I overhear what he says to the employees. He's like, she says somebody uppercutted her, which is like such a crazy of all the punches. I mean, it's like an uppercut, which is like, I don't know, man. That's like when you're in close with somebody. I don't know. That's such a weird, it's such a mean thing to do to somebody. And I don't know who did it, but nobody behind the counter at McDonald's did anything. They just were like, oh, and they just were like kind of like too shocked. They didn't know what to do, but also the lady didn't ask for anything. She just kind of stood there and sobbed by the door and
So are you
didn't
suggesting,
ask for ice. She
are
didn't
you,
ask for help. She
but
didn't do
since
anything.
this,
She just kind of stood there and cried. And all we have was this guy's sort of
but is this
you
guy, are you saying that because this is LA, the Olympics are coming, this might be some guy in town from a different country that boxes, and and therefore he uses the uppercut, which is a boxing skill?
No, I don't know what. I think there's just a crazy homeless person that attacked this lady and and sprinted off somewhere, and as sometimes they've been known to do. Not all of them, but apparently a handful of them will attack you and run off, which is this has been known. And I guess we're going to get into homeless talk now,
No,
because I
but you
mean,
could
what
go
what
back
else?
later. You could go back later and see if the criminal returns to the scene.
I don't know. I never saw this person. There was another guy outside begging for change, but I don't. He was like on the other side of the building where this lady came from. So I don't think it was him. He was minding his own business. Who knows? But she eventually left the restaurant. Nobody at the restaurant did anything for her. And you know, I'm not one to judge myself because I kind of didn't do anything either. And
Well, I do find it
I
interesting
can't hear you.
I find it interesting that it was an uppercut. I really find that. I mean, that is not. Why would you deliver the uppercut and not a shot to the stomach or to the face?
Well,
It's bizarre.
yeah, I know to be because yeah, an uppercut is when you're in close. You have no range with an uppercut, and so this guy, whoever did it, had to get in close to this lady, which is mean, you know, very mean thing to do to wait to get that close to be able to do that type of punch.
Well,
It's
then
messed up.
you're probably right. You're probably right that it's homeless because the homeless, the crazy, they don't have that moral justice gene anymore. Once they went crazy, they lost it. And so that that space that you give most human beings that you don't know, you get right up in there and you uppercut.
I don't know. He went into like yeah, like maybe he was a former boxer. He just forgot where he was and is just I don't know.
It wasn't the guy that used to train Mike Tyson. His boxing studio, I guess you'd call it, his gym. Can't think of the guy's name. He's famous, but it's in LA somewhere and he
Guy
stole it.
Roach or something.
Yeah,
Wait,
Roach. That's
Eddie
exactly it.
Roach?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I know I've met his brother before, Paul Roach. He looks exactly
For some reason the microphone gets worse when you get close to it. I don't know
like
why.
okay.
It
All
like
right.
disappears. Or we need to get you the headphones again. That
Yeah.
works.
You didn't leave my headphone, the mic headphone thing.
Yeah. So I don't know what the hell the city's gonna do about the homeless issue when the Olympics are here, and I mean the World Cup's basically here, and so they're gonna have to do that. But there's not that many games the World Cup, so
Yeah, it's
here,
just
so
I
the microscope won't be on LA too focused, but
don't know.
nevertheless,
Yeah, I don't know if the world realizes how big a city we are. We're like LA, the greater LA is more than 10 million people. Okay. And if you're gonna, nuts around and go to Riverside, Orange, San Bernardino, Ventura County, San Diego County for an Olympic event, and you think you can just, it's the safest place in the world, we, America, if you're listening, or world residents, if you're listening, we allow crazy homeless in California. It's part of who we are. The normal Californians that have been here for years, we don't understand how you can allow this. But nevertheless, we got a lot of goody two shoes people that have convinced our leadership that homeless is a good thing. And so they're everywhere, and we invite them from other countries and other states. So,
I don't know if like that's quite the message that they're trying to send that homeless is like they're cool with it or whatever. It's more like um we're not gonna do anything. It's more like we don't it's like it's fine. Like it's not a big deal.
it's not
Like
that.
that people don't have that we can't accommodate everyone that we're not trying to, you know? But like you would probably argue that it's not the city's job to accommodate everybody. Um, and
I'm
I agree
saying,
with that to some degree. Like people can't just be coming here like and taking advantage of our, our generosity, We see like what happens when, we just do that um without limitation and it gets taken advantage of. So what I see to me is people aren't really trying to deal with the issue like at its core. And there is maybe be too many people for this like area because there's certainly not enough jobs, or at least there's not enough jobs that people on the street can just like take and be functioning. But how many of them want those jobs? And so that's kind of like what I'm getting at is like, are we really going in and doing the hard work and like going one by one, and be like, do you want a job or do you just want to live on the street? And there's a good
We
chunk of
might
them
find
that are
out.
just don't, the ones that say like, don't tell me what to do, don't try to get me to fall in line. It's like, all right, well, we can't work with you. So
If
in the
we were at
van,
your
in the
if
van
we
with you. So
if
like
we
like
were
and that
can you hear
sounds
me?
messed
Can you
up.
hear me? Whoa, can you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, I hear you.
Okay. If we were at your Uncle Dan's right now, playing in the background would be Steely Dan, and the song that would come up is called The Royal Scam. This is the royal scam. In California, we decided to allow the homeless so we could go to the federal government to get funds to help them. And then we put all these individual nonprofits in charge of that money. They put it in their pocket. They didn't do anything about the homeless. That's the royal scam of California. And we got crazy people walking around. It's not that they're not getting any help. The nonprofits that put their hands up and said, we will help them, never help them, never help them. They
And
put the money in their pocket and
that's
they
where we
left.
need auditing and
Yeah.
someone who and like you said, like Newsom's like the federal government should have audited this money. And maybe it's true if someone was like, if someone was the one, well, like whoever's giving the money, if I was giving money, I'd be like, what did you do with it? Is that happening?
Yes, that part's
Who?
happening.
I
They're
don't think it.
auditing the guy that we gave money to Newsom. So we're auditing him, and he's not auditing the people that he gave the money to.
Okay, so
That's the
like
issue.
but who does the governor report to?
The people of California who could care less.
And that's, I think, it's not so much that we care less. Like I care. I'm just busy up to my eyeballs with, you know, multiple like stupid projects because I feel like I don't know if like one thing is gonna like hit as a career because, I meet all kinds of people who have like, you know, master degrees who don't make any money.
Well,
And so you get there's a lot of jobs out there that don't get you anything
you would think
and require all this education.
you would hope and pray that the governor's race will highlight this issue. So far, the only thing the governor's race is highlighted is one of the candidates was a sexual predator, and he is now out the door. But what's going to happen next? I mean, that Swalworth or
I can't
something.
believe like somebody who is a predator like has the just that that's just like I'm just yeah, I'm a sexual predator, but I'm gonna run for office. No one will find out.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you?
Well, but
I
no,
don't know.
here's the,
Like, are those
the
people who are
normal
just
person.
like,
No,
did they
the
think
normal person that got his girlfriend drunk at 19, and he
I can't hear
probably
you?
had, and he, what?
You're in like a weird area where it's hard to hear you.
Okay, that 19-year-old guy that got his girlfriend drunk and may or may not have had consensual sex. And later he's in a prominent position. He's thinking about running for some office and he remembers, this young lady, and he's thinking, if I run for mayor of this town, what if she comes forward and says, I got her drunk and raped her? So he doesn't run. Somebody with a little bit of sense says, shit, I made this mistake. I don't want it to come out. I'm not going to run. But this guy did it over and over again, and he thinks he's going to get away with it. That's what happens. It's ridiculous. There's something wrong with this guy. This candidate thinks that he is smarter. He's a typical criminal that thinks I'm smarter than the cops. I can get away with this. And I'm glad he got caught.
Like I just feel like we need more like good cops, people who are actually trying to do good and aren't going to abuse their power. Because I feel like as soon as you ask somebody to watch this group of people, you have to watch The Watchmen, which is like what that whole comic book was about. You can't trust the people in charge because they will
But
always
but it's
F it
always the
up.
two. It's always the 2%. It doesn't matter whether it's priests, whether it's cops, whether it's um,
Judges,
politicians, judges. There's always the 2% that think they can get away with it, and eventually it catches up to them. But there's that 2% is everywhere in humanity. It's everywhere.
just I'm not making quite as much as I would like, and I want to like, and if there's an easy way, a passive way to do it, why the hell not?
Yeah,
And
I took
it
a
just thinks
pencil.
how many things are going on right now, like that are illegal that people are getting away with, and not just in the government, but private sector, so much crap.
At your job, Ted, right now, somebody took a number 2 pencil home with them by mistake one day. And they got home and they went, I stole a number 2 pencil. I like number 2 pencils. I'm going to take another one and no one's going to notice. That's how it starts. It starts in a tiny little way. And these idiots think I got away with this little thing. And then it's stronger and stronger and stronger. And pretty soon they think I can get away with anything. I'm untouchable. That's what idiots do.
Yeah, they take it too far. And there is like a certain like threshold when it comes to what certain privileges you get with your company. Um, and yeah, I think the gray line it starts to get thick after office supplies pretty hard.
Does, but I'm making a point. That's all. That it starts with something silly, and then it becomes something not so silly, and people think they're bigger than, better than, smarter than.
I guess I've been lucky or unlucky to haven't been in a position where I can just take off from the top. So I guess I'm thankful for that because I don't know. I trust. I like to say I'm a good person and I wouldn't do that, but times is hard, baby.
They're not that hard. You gotta.
They're not that hard, but
They're not
it's
that hard.
definitely like not super chill either.
Yeah, I mean, I think the hardest thing in life is to be, kind of to be thorough and to be disciplined. It's
No, you're
really,
right, and I could use some of that when comes to going to sleep.
yeah.
I've watched so much baseball highlights last night,
Did
and I don't know why.
do you mind if I?
Don't know
That's
why I'm
that's
watching
a,
this. This is
that's
more
a great
baseball than anybody needs.
it's a great transition to the Dodger game last night, if you don't mind, because I
Yeah,
have
we
I got a topic over here on our tab to talk about, and it has to
please, please
it
do.
has to do with Will Klein had a fat curveball in Denver. That was last night. Tyler Glass now had a skinny one on Friday night. And it's always weird playing baseball at Denver because it's a mile high.
Well,
And
we did pretty good. Well, I don't know. We looked pretty good in the first two games. And I was like, and I saw that we lost. I was like, who's pitching? That's the first thing I think. And of course, it's the child, the
yeah,
boy, Sheehan.
he did okay. Sheehan
He
came
did
out.
okay. So I'm like,
He,
where did we screw up? I don't remember.
he was winning the game, and then I think he went six, and then Will Klein came in the seventh, and his curveball was fat, and they just blasted him out of there. And they got to us, and they had a 4-3 lead, and we were also fat, dumb, and happy Dodgers
Go back. I can't hear you. Right there. That's the sweet spot.
the fat, dumb, and
Yeah.
happy Dodgers didn't really mount a charge at the end of the game like they had been doing lately. And so Will Klein, I'm sure he got the loss. He got pummeled. And he doesn't like when you're pitching mile high.
Damn, I feel like I didn't see those highlights.
Oh, Glass now had a awesome curveball Friday night, was striking. I think he struck out 8. He was pretty damn good. But Will
Yeah.
Clark, when he threw the fastball, they fouled it off. When he threw the curveball, they blasted it. It's in the humidity. The humidity changes quick at a mile high. And if you don't have a real tight fastball, it won't break. It will just sit there like it's on a tee, and
Mm.
guys will tee off on it. They ripped it. They ripped him.
Yeah.
So it was kind of sad because he just didn't. The night before, when Trinan came in after Glassed out, he had a tight curveball. He couldn't hit it. But the fat one, the one that kind of gets fat, it gets blasted up there. So
Yeah, it's crazy how much the conditions really, affect the game you're playing, especially, you know,
and
spin and things like that. And man.
Will Klein said later he'd never pitched there, he'd never been there. So he just didn't know how to adapt.
Well, that's what the pitching staff is supposed to do. They
Yeah,
didn't do their job.
yeah, they and sometimes their job is to, you know what, it's Denver. Let he's got to discover it for himself. Sometimes you talk to people and you tell them and you tell them and you tell them, but they're the type of people that they got to learn the hard way. Maybe that's Will.
Hey, sounds like me. Because I was just thinking today, or there's something wrong about my swing again, because it's become hard to play the game.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well, I got it up here. I got it up here for you to talk about. Okay.
hmm.
Up on the play sheet is play golf with heavy, lazy shoulders. You got to feel heavy, lazy shoulders over the ball. And that's the only way to trust your swing. Once you get heavy, lazy shoulders, you find yourself in slow motion. And it's easier for your feet to keep your head still and to watch the ball. And you start finding out that when you take the club back lazy and you bring it forward lazy, everything syncs up. You don't swing hard, and the ball just jumps off the club. Heavy,
Yeah,
lazy shoulders, stay over the ball better, trust your swing, and boom, it goes.
I'm just gonna change the angle at which I take the club back, but
No, just
we'll
get
get
just
into
get
that in a
heavy,
different.
just get heavy, lazy, and swing. Trust your swing. What happens is when you start coming down, you start going too fast, your head gets ahead of the ball and you don't see it. But if you're heavy and lazy, your head doesn't move, everything gets synced up, and boom, you'll go, wow, what happened? I trusted my swing and it jumped.
Yeah, I only played like 2 holes that were like decent yesterday. It was kind of but let's get to the Masters. We didn't really talk about that. I feel like we're not really big Rory fans in this family. So I was curious what your thoughts were on his back to back.
I mean, it's sad. Your mom pointed it out
It's
before.
sad.
It's sad.
Why is
Your
it
mom,
sad?
your mom pointed it
It's
out.
a happy thing for Rory.
Well, then you didn't see him come off the golf course.
I
So
guess not,
he wins for the second time.
which
For
is great.
whatever reason, he goes out of character. He goes out of his mind. And when he's walking through his ropes, through the ropes, his parents are there, his wife is there, and his daughter is there. He immediately goes to his dad because, his dad kind of taught him golf and coached him up. Then he goes to his mom, his mom and dad are divorced. He goes to mom second. And then he starts to take a step up the way because he never, ever greets his wife and daughter. Suddenly, he gets a premonition. You know what? I'm in a good mood. I'm going to greet my daughter. He gets down low and he kind of, with his hands, he wants her to come to
He
him.
beckons her.
He beckons her and she don't come. She it's out of character for her dad.
Whoa.
It's out of character for her dad to beckon her to come in that situation. And she kind of freaks. She turns to mom. Mom gives her a little shove. She goes to dad, but she's pulling back from dad the whole time he's hugging her. And then the wife comes over and plants a kiss, makes it all better. But that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Dude, I
That
gotta check this out.
it's the weirdest thing. And your mom goes, "Did you see that? Did you see that? His daughter doesn't want to come to him. What does that mean?" And immediately she's going, maybe he's rough with her. No, maybe he never did that before and she doesn't know. It's out of character. That's what it looked like. More like she's not used to this situation. She's a little girl. He's never come to me like this before. What do I do? And she's shy. So it was not like it was not if Scotty would have won. That little boy goes, he doesn't even know what golf is. He just goes, wraps his arms around his dad. That's all he does. That's what all the kids do. The normal dads. There's something not normal about Rory.
It's
I don't know
confirmed.
what.
Well, I told you I have that Spieth interview, where he's like, um, basically like Rory has access to like whatever he wants to do, but he like doesn't like engage. Um, he just chooses to stay on like in golf, and Spieth's like, you know, I like to do some of the things that, I get the privilege to do, but from being a pro golfer, but Rory just only
Well,
golf. But like, I guess that's what makes the champions insane, you
no,
know?
but Scheffler's not like that. Like for example, the guy I
Yeah,
can't
so
remember.
what is that? Now that's a
Well,
great, and I was watching a video the other day on like, because I've been told, I was big on this whole manifestation thing, but like it's very weird. You can't like always manifest because you put pressure on yourself. And so there's like it's almost like the yin to the yang of manifestation is
it,
detachment. You
it,
can't
it,
be attached to these
well,
things
for,
too
for some
much.
for some people that's true, and for others it's not. So, for example, Scheffler is at the Masters. He's trying to gain ground on McIlroy, but they're not in the same group.
I,
Scheffler's playing with the Chinese guy Lee, and the whole time
I love Lee.
they're friends and they're yucking it up.
Oh, we
And
gotta talk about his like
well, but you
blow
see
up on the
them
16th hole or whatever.
you see them walking together and yucking it up.
Uh-huh.
Whereas the guy that I can't remember, damn it, I can't remember who Rory was paired with, but the guy said he never spoke to me the whole time. And then the kid that's they always put the highest ranking amateur with the person that won the tournament last year in the first two rounds. So the amateur that played with him Thursday and Friday said he never spoke to me the whole time. So it's once you cross the ropes, some people change. They become, what's that guy, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. When they get in between the lines, they go, Mr. Hyde. And so that's kind of, I think that's his personality. He gets all so focused in that he doesn't have time to have fun. And so imagine that's your dad and all his focus is golf and, everything golf. And then, suddenly he wants to hug you and you're freaked out by that. So that to me is that's what, I think that's what it was. I don't think he's, like I wouldn't say the guy must beat his daughter or something. That's stupid. But
No, but I could definitely see, like um just not very available, comes to mind.
yeah,
Um, but we'll see, I hope I hope they can patch that up, you know. But that is telling when daddy's like, "Come here," and the girl's like, "Ugh," like
well,
not
even
good. And but I don't want to be like Rory's a bad parent.
no, I'm not saying that. I don't think so. That's
Rory's a
stupid.
bad father.
You can't jump to that conclusion. I'm sure he's providing, loving. I
Maybe he's
mean,
trying and she's just like a bitch daughter.
no, I
The
wouldn't
bit
say that
a
either.
bitch baby.
I would say that his character changed and it took her by surprise and she didn't know what to do. That's more likely.
Honestly,
But
and you're also in front of like how many people are there?
there was a lot of people
And
there,
you're
and
like what is she, like two? And you're just like surrounded by,
she's probably three or four, I would guess.
but she's kind of used to that, I would think a little bit.
Not if she's not been in that position before. You
Hey,
know,
she's got more experience than I do being surrounded by the media.
well,
3 years of that, I don't know.
but in that situation, you would probably, kind of rely on who you normally are. That would, that and the girl's shy. If she's normally shy, and I got two granddaughters, one's out in front, one's shy. What are you going to do? They're different.
Oh, I
That's
didn't know that.
It's got nothing to do with me, that's for sure. It's got nothing to do with their mom or dad. It's just that's
Hmm.
where their tendency is. That's all. So,
Oh, is it? I'm just kidding.
well,
I'm
I,
just
you know,
playing.
I
Hey,
know you're playing.
nature, nurture, nurture,
Yes,
nature,
right.
nature,
But
nurture
it kind of leads us to today where we got Matthew Fitzpatrick versus Patrick Fitzmatthew versus Scotty Scheffler.
versus Scotty Fitz Scheffler.
Anyhow, it's kind of a grudge match, but I wonder if they'll. I can't wait to see the last nine holes. Will they be friendly? I heard something last week when um, remember Rose in the at the Masters was getting close to the top, and they asked him, like when his round was over, he was close to the top, and they asked him, "What if you get paired with Rory?" And he said something like, well, I would imagine we wouldn't talk to each other as much as we normally would. So that leads me to believe, is that a European thing? Is that a UK thing that, in the heat of the battle, you only your sacred people get around you? I don't know. I don't know. But
I don't know, man. I've never competed at that level, but I mean, I feel like I have to focus just to get like I'll just be like sub 120 these days. Ugh.
well, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe, what did they say? What did Maverick say up in the cockpit? I'm holding on too tight.
I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a matter of like I'm stressed out. I just think I'm doing it wrong. Like I'm gonna go I've changed my swing to
Oh,
accommodate
geez.
a lot of
Oh, don't start
bad.
that shit. Don't
No,
start
I
that.
am. I am. I have to because I'm
No.
it's not working.
Try heavy shoulders, lazy shoulders, and that'll help you keep your feet quiet, your eyes on the ball. And if your eyes on the ball, whatever your natural swing is will come forward. But you have to watch the ball.
Well, that's what I mean is like I've been doing a very like kind of like a around my spine kind of swing. And I'm watching Scheffler and some of the guys last night in the highlights, and it looks like the way they swing is a lot like the way I used to swing the club, you know? So I'm gonna try that next time I'm at the driving
Well,
range.
but keep in mind what you got to do, what I got to do, what the pros do is different because they hit balls 8 hours
No,
every
I know, but
day.
I'm just talking about the shape of their backswing. It doesn't look like what I'm doing.
But
So,
they don't have a problem with keeping their head still. Your head is following your swing path ahead of the ball because you're not staying down.
yeah.
When your head stays down, you'll watch the ball. Anyhow, new subject.
Yeah, go for it.
That's what you. Well, I don't know. I guess we should talk a little bit about the war.
Yeah, so I'm curious to hear what you say because I get, commentary and obviously Reddit doesn't put out its own news. It just takes news that other people put out and it puts it on its page, sort of like a, what do you call it? What the hell do they call that? It's I can't think of the word. It's like it's like not a rehash, or it's like a retweet basically. It's, I don't know, but that's all Reddit is. It doesn't
Yeah,
make its own news,
it's
as
a
you don't
summary.
know. But it's very,
Yeah, it's a summary of most important topics.
but it's a very, mostly liberal side of things, which I appreciate that side of the conversation. So that's why I listen in, and it's very negative. It's usually, a lot of making fun of Trump. Like usually anything he does, it's like that's stupid. You're stupid for trying that. And so, okay, things seem pretty down from the liberal side of things. And then I watch my YouTuber, these military guys on YouTube. One guy seems objective. Another guy seems always very pro-American because he never has anything negative. And so between all of these various sources, it's hard for me to get a real understanding of where we're at. But
Okay.
it sounds like,
Let me see if I can sort it out for you. I got it.
well,
Got
here, let me finish before, so you can comment, because I'm just telling you that all my sources are, biased in one way or another. But what I'm hearing, you know, Iran closed the strait, and then we created our own closure of the strait. Now we're not letting the Iranian ships go through. And then last I hear, now the strait is opened up again. Um, yeah, that's where I'm at.
You're behind. Okay. What happened is in the negotiations, the last negotiation was a 10-day peace, okay, which lasted about 48 hours. Okay. And what the idea was that the US was going to decide who goes through and who doesn't go through. And Iranians had briefly agreed that only the necessary tankers are going to go in and out of the strait. And then suddenly the Iranians thought, shit, we gave up our best bargaining chip. So they started firing on non on different players that ships were in there. So they didn't shoot. You know, most of the ships in the canal right now or in the area are American military. Okay, but suddenly the Iranians, the Revolutionary Guard, started firing on non-American, non-Iranian. They actually fired on a Pakistani tanker. So now Pakistan, well, actually two Pakistan tankers. One was a guide for that tanker. The other was their tanker. But the Pakistanis,
Oh, you
they're the
froze.
ones who got involved in the peace talks. Yeah, what? Can you
Oh,
hear me?
I'm just saying you froze for a second, but you're
Oh,
catching up
the,
now. But
the,
like, it just seems so
wait, wait, wait,
crazy
wait,
that,
wait, 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 wait. The Pakistanis were the ones that hosted the last discussion. It was
yeah,
in Pakistan.
yeah.
Okay.
So like,
And
why
so
would
as
they do
soon
that?
because they went, shit, you guys must have fooled us somehow. So they fired on the Pakistan boats. So basically, they said, we've closed it again. They closed it. In other words, they're basically going back. They can't stick to what they agreed to. Now, it could be that they do not negotiate in good faith. They don't have the gene that allows them to. Or there's multiple factions in there saying, why did you give up that? You gave up our bargaining chip. Start firing on Pakistan. They tricked us. So who knows exactly the way they think? But this is what the Pope had to say, the latest, and I listened to the Pope because I want to see.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear what you think of what the Pope says,
Well,
because
the Pope said he is against. He's mad at the idolatrous motives behind U.S. and Israelis. Their motives. He's basically, I'm against U.S. Israelis because it's adulterous motives, which is I just can't believe the Pope is this naive because he's got to be able to see that the Iranians are after the exact same thing. The Iranians don't have any infrastructure, they don't have any economy without oil. That's it. Without it, it's so they have to get it flowing again. They have to. They have to start doing something to break up this blockade so that they can decide if they want to sell oil to China, if they want to sell oil to Russia, if they want to sell it to India, whoever they want to sell to, they want to sell it to them. And America is holding on to the spigot saying, nope, it's only going to our basically the people, the Europeans, the good people in South America, the good people in different parts of the world that are not part of this hypocrisy, right? And so that pisses off Iran because they have no money coming in without that straight moving. And they want it to go to their trade partners. And America's not going to let that happen. They're going to hold those trade partners in check so that they have to come to the table and say, Uncle, we're going to get rid of the nuclear weapons. They won't do it. That's what this is all about. And the Pope is naive. And I'm for the Pope. I want the Pope to win, but he's ridiculously naive in this.
Yeah, I've kind of feel, because I saw a lot of commentary about people being like, I'm Catholic, but I do not agree with what the Pope is saying. And as a Catholic, I see this, I in my eyebrows just go like, what? How can you say this? But I it's such a, it's not a black and white issue. It's not a simple matter of let Iran sell its oil so it can save its people. No, because it's not just that. You continue to fund their bullshit if you allow that, and they've got so much going on. And tell me if this is true. I hear in the deal that we were giving to Iran that they refused, um, and that is you guys don't even have to buy enriched uranium anymore. We'll give it to you for free
Yeah.
if you guys will stop this bullshit. Well, you won't have to pay for any more uranium. And we'll just give it to you. And they still said no because it's that important to enrich it themselves.
Well, but Ted, the truth is there's two different kinds of enrichment. We'll give them the enrichment for a power plant. We're not going to give the enrichment for an atomic weapon. That's
Right.
why
And
we're
and
willing
it
to give it to them.
and that's why it's such horseshit that they're like, we're only doing this for energy. It's like, well, then that should be plenty. Then that should be enough for you. And then the fact that it's not, to me, is like they're not giving up with their conquest of or
They're
their
not.
goal to destroy Israel, and so I can understand why Israel's like being like, kind of like spazzes a little bit about it. They won't let up
Yeah.
because of that.
Here's the other thing about the Pope. I'll be
I can't hear you when you have to
talking.
be like right in this like
I'm gonna
a little forward, right
okay.
there.
I'm gonna write. I'll be writing a Substack this afternoon about this topic because it's so intriguing to me. Um, the Catholic Church always grows in troubled times. And so, like you're saying, I'm seeing it in the newspaper in all kinds of different media. The Catholic Church is growing here, it's growing there. It's on page 3 of my newspaper this morning, the growth of the Catholic Church. And it always happens in troubled times. People that were Catholics that stopped being a Catholic or became some kind of, strange Christian denomination, they end up going back during Catholic times because there's really three reasons, and it always comes down to the Blessed Virgin Mary. When she came, basically at Fatima, she went to Lourdes, and she went to Guadalupe. And the message was always similar, and it came back directed right back to the Pope. It basically said, in one case, if the Russians keep up what they're doing, this is what it's going to lead to. We need to stop this. So there's always been a message that, you get to troubled times, the apparition of the Virgin Mary shows up somewhere, tells small children, tell the Pope this. She doesn't go talk to the Pope directly. For some reason, I don't know that she trusts the Pope directly because they become a political force. But when she tells kids and they tell their parents, and then they tell the Pope has to listen to that. He can't get political at that point in time. So I'm not predicting a new apparition, but I wouldn't be surprised. But it's happened three times in the past when we're near a calamity of world war. It's happened three times. World War One, World War Two, and just some other, kind of troubled times in the world where the Blessed Virgin Mary shows up. So I find it interesting. The Catholic Church is growing. People are looking for the Pope to say the right thing, to say the right thing. And all he has to do is include Iran in his statement that it's US, Israel, and Iran. They're idolizing the oil. Okay, if you say it like that, all right, I'll go with that. I'll believe in it. But to say it's just the U.S. and Israel, that's not fair. It's not fair. The Iranians see that as enriching the atomic weapons that they want.
Yeah,
That's
and
fine.
people keep thinking like we're after the oil in Iran. It's like America has more than it needs. I don't think they realize that. We have too much oil. We don't need to import oil.
Well, everybody, the world loves cheap oil, and America would like the world to have its cheap oil with no strings attached. With no strings attached. That's the key.
I mean,
And Ted, find this crazy, but if you look at the Sea of Arabia, so a lot of the Arabian oil from Saudi comes down the Sea of Arabia and it ends up into the Persian Gulf, or it comes from Iran and different countries that are on the backside of Saudi Arabia. It comes down through the Strait of Hormuz, right? But if you look at those,
Hormuth,
yeah, Hormuz, sorry, the two
Hormuth.
straits are very similar. And the only thing but the real thing that they have in common is they both are troubled with Wahhabism. They're both troubled with Wahhabism, that extreme crazy culture that, quite frankly, I'll say it because I'm not afraid to say it. That is the devil's work. There it is. It's on both sides of those countries.
Well, I mean, they are the Wahhabists, which is the extreme, Muslim faction, but there's Wahhabists in every religion. Let's be honest. They're extreme Catholics, which there aren't so many of those these days, but I'm sure there are somewhere
Well,
because there
but the
just has to
extreme
be. There always is
the
extreme zealots in
the
every
extreme the extreme
group.
Catholics are the penitentes, and all they do is flog themselves. They beat the shit out of themselves for
Yeah, it's like
Jesus.
you just get more guilty as you become more Catholic. You don't attack other people, you just attack yourself. Come
Protect
on,
yourself.
that's you flail yourself.
You flail.
That's
That's
how you be a
exactly.
true Catholic. So, that's funny. I like the guy in which Da Vinci Code.
That's code. Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. That's that's the same guy that was what's the poet in The Knight's
Dude,
Tale?
I'd be so you should just show up to St. Martha's like that guy.
Flog myself.
Just while they're doing the homily and be like, "Don't mind me, I'm just more Catholic than
Yeah,
all of
just
you."
get right down the middle, get on my knees, bare-legged, and
Like
just flog.
and like you just give yourself a good flog, and then you look over at like a child, like that one was for you.
Oh, you did, and you look up and you go, "That I'm with you, Jesus."
All
Right?
right, or like I just got this whole denomination with that one. Oh,
Yeah, but I just, I can laugh at myself all day long. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, yes, there are extreme people all over the place, and unfortunately, on your Reddit, you get a lot of extreme jackasses too.
yeah, and I
So,
think there's like a lot of bots that are trying to influence Redditors,
yeah.
like because we all know about the Russian bots that try to influence social media. It's true, they are out there doing things. I'm not like looking for it, but it is true. They are posting stuff like that. And it is kind of funny to think, you know, imagine a Russian posting something negative about America and being American and be like, and like commenting and being like, yeah, I agree. And I don't know.
And yet,
As much as this country,
Every Russian I've ever met in America, I said, when are you going to go back to Russia? And they're like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! I'll never go back."
oh, I know we have a Russian at work and we like to give him shit all the time about it. And yeah. And of course he says, yeah, you guys have your own oligarchy. It's Trump. So he's kind of not wrong. Like,
Well,
yeah,
Trump is, he may be a small billionaire,
Peter
but he,
Thiel,
yeah,
Trump,
no, Trump is,
David Black or Leon Black, all the guys in the
uh,
papers. Those are our
but,
oligarchs, man.
but trust me, Trump, money wise, he ain't nowhere near some of
Elon
the big,
Musk,
yeah,
Kimball Musk.
the big ones in America are way, 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 way more rich than Trump will ever be. It's not even close. He's a little guy.
And yeah, so maybe Trump is, and it's true. He said, I've heard his friends will get hurt. And maybe that's who he is trying to protect, his friends more
No,
than
I think
himself.
he may have a
Because
little. He's
because
got
when you
some.
work for big guys, you get a nice fee for it. Your loyalty
Yeah,
is
Trump.
rewarded, and this is he's answering to his overlords.
Yeah, it's Trump. You could
There's
just
so
see
much
it.
redacted in the
But you
papers.
can see in
They ate the kids.
Trump's haircut shows me it's like the guy that's got little dick syndrome that drives the big truck. It's no different. Trump suffers from little dick syndrome.
He sure does. And I mean, and as a golfer, I mean, we watched him. There's a video of him dropping a golf ball or one of his like assistants, and they're like, "Oh, found it!" Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think any of us were like
He has a
surprised. We're all just
he
like,
has a
"Yeah,
pocket.
I think we all knew that was kind of the case with him."
He's got a pocket with a hole in it, no doubt about it. It
Yeah,
really,
it keeps reloading it with um, Pro V1s, I'm sure.
yeah. Anyhow, I think we've come to the end.
Yeah, but this has been a really
It's
good chat, and
been really
we really
hilarious.
needed to check up on a lot of topics that have been going down, and um this is the month that Palinka gets fired, right?
Well,
Countdown to our prediction.
we'll see what happens here. Now
They
he's got
won they won game one last night.
he's got it. Yeah, but did you see who didn't play?
Well, obviously Luca.
No, on the Rockets, their best
Oh,
player.
D Wade, yeah. Which
Not D Wade. No, not D Wade. The other the
oh yeah, Kevin Durant, sorry.
Kevin Durant didn't play. And that's like,
Different D. KD,
but
DW.
hey, take a look at something I want you to see. It's funny, we didn't go over in the sheets, but you wanted to talk about CDM, EDM, and I want it offline. Let's go do that. But your mom was
CDM.
EDM.
Oh, what, like the music?
Yeah, you had a topic up here where you wanted to play me some songs and see which ones I liked. You don't remember this?
Oh, yeah, I do want to like I do have to like play some music for you. And
Okay.
like that's like yeah, we do need to like boomer musical like
Okay.
moment where I'm like, "All right, Dad, what do you think of this crazy
Well,
shit?"
okay, but I at the same time, if you go back to the sheet right under it, I put your mom was listening, is playing some stuff
I mean, I
was
can give you one song right now. Should we finish it with one song?
all right. I want to hear it, but only a little bit because I don't, my ear, I'm tuned deaf to EDM, to be honest. So go ahead.
This is an EDM song actually. This is a rap song,
I'm
and
tone, I'm tone deaf to rap too.
I
I'm so tone deaf to rap.
I well let me find the link that says
I
easy
have
for
I
you.
have to when it comes to rap, I have to filter out all the death and bullshit those guys talk about. And it's so much bravado. It's
All
so
right.
stupid.
All right, I'm gonna send you this in the email real quick. Um I haven't been really on my rap a lot these days, but I saw this album art and I was like, okay, I've got to hear what the hell music from this album sounds like. And I listened to it and I was like, it's not bad actually. It's crazy, but it's not bad.
Well, I put on the list another one from your mom. She wants you to hear something called a song called "The Holy Ghost Power" by the Hillbilly Thomas.
No. All right, but real quick, are you hold on. I gotta like you I sent you the link in the email. Um I wish I could like we could listen to it together. Or I wish you could play it
It
from
has
like
it.
Can you play it from like the TV behind you?
I could if it would come up. I don't see what it's called. Give me a name. I'll call it out to
I sent
Alexa.
it to your to the Zoom
I don't have it.
email. It's a YouTube video.
It hadn't popped up yet. I don't have it. Just tell me the name.
Okay, it's Eyesight by Slayer.
I, I,
Eyesight Slayer, and there's no E between the Y and the R at the end.
okay. Alexa, play Eyesight by Slayer.
Is it how loud is it?
Alexa, level 7.
All right.
Alexa, stop.
All right, what did you think of that?
That's an awesome beat. That's an
The
awesome.
beat's not bad actually, but did
No,
you gotta, I mean, if you see the music video, it's like a giant eyeball that's like bleeding.
oh no, I can't. I'll go look at it. But it was Slayer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I don't know who this kid is. I don't know anything about him. It just is like some new music that came out recently. Oh, I do have something for you. Oh, oh my God.
next week.
Oh,
Next week.
yeah, okay, but damn, I have to show you this comedian. I was trying to tell you about Kill Tony, and I wanted to show you.
I looked at it a little bit. I
Well,
went and looked.
can you or maybe I could just send you. Yeah, this is too long for us to watch.
No. We got to get
Um,
off the air right now, son. But we can do this separately. But I went and looked at Kill Tony. It was pretty stupid.
all right, but like I gotta show you. I'll just talk to you about it real quick because it's like one of the funniest things I've heard and seen recently. But it's this guy come on Kill Tony. His name is Timmy No Breaks. And he comes in with like a leather jacket, kind of like that old leather jacket he used to wear, the brown one,
I
and
still got it, baby. It's a
in,
bomber.
in these aviator sunglasses.
Yeah, it's a bomber jacket.
And I don't know what he does, but he basically says like, ah, fuck, what does he do? He's like, I'm gonna do blackface, and he goes behind the curtain, and he comes back, and instead of him, it's just like a whole different guy, a black dude wearing the jacket and the
Same outfit.
sunglasses,
The same outfit.
and
Yeah.
he's got the microphone, but he's lip syncing, and Timmy is on the mic in the back, just like, "Hey, it's me now, everybody." It's like one of the funniest, stupidest things I've ever seen.
All right. I'll go. You show me that thing. And by the way, your link just came up for the big eye on Ice Slayer. And that's the kind of shit that will scare the shit out of me because I was
I
scared
know
death
that's
when there
scary.
was
It's very
I
scary
was
that eyeball.
scared by there was a monster movie.
Scared shitless.
There was a monster movie in the 40s or 50s called
The
The
crawling eye.
Crawling Eye. Used to scare the shit out of me. I couldn't even
Well,
watch it on TV. I
there
would
it
watch
is.
a peek at it.
There's the eyeball.
That's kind of
Slayer.
what the crawling
He's
eye
coming
looks
for
like.
you.
I know. All right.
All
Let's
right, this
sign.
has been good. I actually have to go to work right now, which is
Oh,
unfortunate, but we have so much going on at the
well,
office right now. But
I
it's all good.
understand. At some point, reach out and we got to talk about taxes. Taxes. So call later if you can.
Let's, all right, fine. All right, later.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye bye.